Chancellor's Office feels it should be no less than 5%. The reason I have 18% is that's 2 months of payroll. So if we did not receive funding from the state for 2 months, there are board members who would like to have it higher, and there's at least one board member who has signaled it could be a little more modest. So as the different groups look at this, please get feedback from your groups so we can share that.
So for this year's budget, what does that equal in dollars?
Gosh, you make me do math. Okay.
He's good at math. The other guy down there.
Yeah. We're currently at 18%. That's another reason
30 million in reserves is 18%?
Yeah, of 162 million.
What, have there been circumstances in which we needed not 2 months of pay, or we would have to pay 2 months?
Cover two payrolls?
Yeah.
For those of us that are a little older, that we remember Pete Wilson and not getting a budget adopted until October. Pete Wilson's been gone for a long time. There is also now a state law that if the state does not approve a budget by the 15th of June, I believe it is, and send it to the governor, they don't get paid. Doesn't mean they put a good one together, but they manage to still get paid somehow. So there's that to consider. But this is the other issue we have is in community colleges, we do not have a guaranteed apportionment where that if there isn't a budget, it would continue like K-12. And also, we do not have backfill of property taxes. So if our property taxes do not come in, we have to make up the deficit. And what this really comes down to is what is our collective risk tolerance. And I'm not saying there's a right or a wrong. 10% I would say. All the college community.
So, taking all that into consideration, what do most colleges have as a reserve? Have they looked at that? Has that even been looked at to say, because if everybody else is running 10%, but PCC feels like they need to run at 18%, I think that would need to be explained.
Correct.
I thought you were that office that does that stuff.
Not that stuff.
Oh, no, that's
I do know there's
Growth mindset, Crystal.
No, he's actually research. It must be Crystal.
yes. That's because you're the best staff in the job. So
there are colleges out that have 30%, districts that have 30%. I'm sure there's some with less. I'll take a look at that. And so I don't have to look at the whole 116. Should we just say roughly the same size?
I'm not trying to create work for you any stretch of the
Actually, another question. So the chancellor's office requires the 5%, right? Is it a requirement or is it a recommendation?
It's one of those fun recommendations. If you don't have it, then you get to deal with the controller's office and trustees coming and taking over. They start wondering if you're going to pay your bills.
Do they have an average on their, like we see them, Art, have an average on their website?
Thanks, Mike.
The 311s are all on the website, so if I pick some that are roughly the same size, I can go and look at them. But I'll have to read that 311. Have you ever read one? It's really fun. It's like reading.
Again, thing I do all the time.
Okay. All right, so the suggestion of the committee to get some comparative data. Fiscal management, it says we're actually going to have procedures and protocols, and I'll follow Title V. The debt issuance one is a relatively new policy that districts must have, thanks to Poway down in San Diego, where they did those negative amortization bonds and refunded into it and pulled a bunch of money out. And the Attorney General got involved, and some trustees went to jail. And yeah, it was a big deal. So when that happens, our legislature passes laws. So we have to do this government code section, and it's not just for education, it's government code. And it must be in place 30 days before issuance of any debt by the institution. Okay. This is capital lease, a COP, which is Certificate of Participation, tax revenue anticipation note, a grant revenue anticipation note, capital leases, general obligation bonds, and community facility districts. Did I hit them all? Yeah.
We don't know.
She does?
Oh, you do? You
Any
know?
type of short-term or long-term
Sure.
borrowing.
Yes. So we currently need has been conversations about a general obligation bond. And then any bond refinancing to take advantage of the much lower rates out than when the Measure P was passed. We can't do any of those things until we can't even take out a lease on equipment and pay for it. Investments. This would dictate how the district invests their money. Then we have a policy currently called purchasing, which was written in 1994 and is a little out of date. And most institutions now divide up purchasing, bids, contracts, and property management. We actually have property management as part of our purchasing policy, and that's the one you pay. It says I have to hire that lady you don't like. It's true. Our purchasing policy says that the district shall hire a property management company to take care of those 4 houses over there. And they've been charging us $600 a month for God knows how long to do nothing. So here's the purchasing, and then bids and contracts. Also, what's important is our purchasing. We currently use CUPCA, which is the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. And we don't have any policy that says we can actually do that, so we'd like to get one in place.
Will this make purchasing on campus easier?
No.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, it will. It really will. If you read that policy, and they are a very rule-oriented group. They like rules and procedures. That's what they bring to the table. But you give them 1994 rules, they're gonna follow them, okay? So if we could take things out of policy that should be in administrative procedures, we could then be a little more flexible. Will it happen overnight? No, because we have to come up with the new things, but there are things that George, who gets most of the credit for being stubborn, he would like to issue P cards to people to be doing a lot of their buying of supplies and stuff, because then we could get rebates back and things like that, but we can't do it under the current policies. So there would be hope, okay? There's the financial audit, which this is one of the legally required that says we will have an annual audit. Okay. 6450 is not legally required, but I highly recommend it because it says that if the district issues you a cell phone, it's for business purposes only, and we do not have to 1099 you for your taxes. So it's just stating that it's for business purposes only. And then there's the Dr. Juni property management policy, 6500. And then we have a security for district property. We're going to say we're going to secure it, lock doors, guard against that. We have an insurance. This is we will have insurance, and then we may use a JPA. We currently participate in joint powers agreements, but we don't have policy that states we can do it. So,
Just want to take it back a little bit. On BP 6450, who said that?
6450.
We all get this whole thing.
Careful what you wish for.
Yes, because you end up like this.
Huh?
I actually do not know everyone that has one, to be honest. But there's a list I can get if you want to know. Yeah, it's pretty much folks that must have a district phone to be contacted at any time. And it's all exec cabinet and a few other folks. I don't know to the extent it's in Dean's. But it's a joy having two phones. I know. Do you ever answer the wrong one? And go, hi, hi. I do it in front of my adult children who just laugh at me. Okay. Security district property, we did that. Insurance, disposal of property. We don't have a policy on how to get rid of our junk. And if you go in the Serapian building, you have 4 stories of junk. So, and there's a basement under the R building full of stuff too. So,
One man's junk is another man's treasure.
I'll gladly look at it with everyone. And if it's really a treasure, we could probably give it to you.
I was going to say that.
Property tax.
Yeah, I know. Capital construction. We need to get this in place for our building. This was another one that at College Council caused a little discussion. 6700 Civic Center and other facility use. We currently have Civic Center and we rent out our facilities, but we don't have a policy or administrative regs or approved fee schedules, so what people pay tends to be all over the board. So we're trying to put some order to that. The biggest issue that came up at College Council is when we talk about the use of the facilities cannot be discriminatory, but we also says we cannot discriminate against different groups. And Chris, tell me if I cross the line here, but there was a conversation that perhaps some groups we wouldn't want on campus. And the policy and actually the law says we can't. On campus. We can also, we cannot say one political party versus another political party can be on campus. Where this really came into play, where educational institutions were saying internal organizations, which only men can go to the meeting and only men can go. They can't rent our facilities for their meetings. Okay, one of mine is Knights of Columbus. Great organization, can't be here. Okay, but if a church wants to rent the facility, they may rent the facility, providing they're open to everyone attending the service. Yes.
So, do we not have a right to refuse then?
No, you do not.
Unless they discriminate.
And they have a whole list of stuff. The biggest right to refusal is we're using the property.
Okay.
For example, someone may want to rent our gymnasium, but not because of who the group is. So,
Are you allowed to limit the group? So say if I was against abortion, but I wanted to be on the campus and show my stuff, and
that's a
can
big
I
one.
limit them to where they can?
Because we don't have a policy or procedure in place to do that.
Or free
That's
speech.
not for this.
not
This is
this.
facility use. They can be anywhere on campus. I mean,
Yeah.
have you ever seen them? Over by the gym, they set up their big, huge
Hey,
with
you-
pictures.
You can have a
Yeah.
you can have a free speech area where people do not have to come and sign up and do things. Okay, and Berkeley comes to mind. Their free speech area. They'll all be giving speeches up there. It's kind of entertaining.
I thought that most of those were struck down,
No,
Most
challenged.
correct, but not struck down. Extremely limited on what an institution can do.
there are some that have made it through successfully when challenged.
So they cannot disrupt the educational process. The courts have upheld that. They cannot impede a student's traffic. So you can't have those aggressive signature people and students. If students says no, thank you, they have to leave. They cannot block fire exits. And about all of that is what has come up. Okay, but you're still supposed to have a free speech area. When a group comes in with a lot of stuff, you can ask that they go through the civic center, and with this, they're assuming all the liability and stuff like that. And with
Centers like
there was a vegan group that was very anti-slaughterhouses. I even have had them put up an insurance policy, which they readily do, because they bring in this video contraption thing about how horrible it is, and they insure it, so they'll produce that. So a lot of these groups, if they're going through Civic Center, we can have more influence on the liability, but we cannot limit the message. But we can limit the students' path of travel in Firelight. Any other questions or concerns with this? Citizens Oversight Committee, we have one of those, but we don't have a policy. And most likely, well, I shouldn't say that, there is a good chance that they would want to do a Prop 39 bond on the next bond because of the lower threshold to pass it. which would then require one.
What is a Prop 39?
It is a lower threshold instead of a supermajority.
Oh, the 55%.
Yeah.
You know, we already have that one, right?
Parking. We do. In 6,000. So we have purchasing drones and parking.
We do have parking.
Okay.
And we know that because it's pretty recent that we just,
Oh, cool.
otherwise I probably wouldn't.
How about 6,800 safety?
No, I don't believe it.
Okay. And then occupational safety. Needs occupational safety because it deals with OSHA, an injury and illness prevention program.
Actually, the bullet points.
I think they're the same, aren't they? Just a different title.
It's a different title. Okay, and then 6,900 bookstore.
The User Privacy Act, is that where they're not tracking what you're buying?
Or the, more importantly, they're not disclosing what you're buying.
Tracking them.
Yeah, because they're gonna bring up the
Yeah,
sale.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what are we gonna do with these?
I would hope that you would share it with your constituents and bring it back. It's currently working through College Council, and then it will go to the board. So we want them well vetted. I'm looking to, quote, fast track things, so I would hope that it would be vetted fairly quickly. And
Is this group gonna vote on these? Or just,
We have concerns or changes or
yeah, to come back. I guess, Mark, and I might be wrong, I think they're pretty mundane, but
Yeah.
if something is an issue or there's a recommendation like how much reserves to have, we should be able to articulate it and document it, so we could say, this was our concern. My hope is to, to get the board this on a relatively tight time frame.
So would that be this meeting or in November? Okay.
Hopefully, actually, probably some in November and the rest in December, so we would be able to do the COP in the spring.
So you're looking at maybe the next meeting we bring back.
And if there's a major our student isn't here, but he was one of the individuals that brought up the next agenda item, the coordination integrated planning with BRAC. And, the question came up if this is the resource allocation, and then we have our spring prioritization, how are the two processes integrated? And Crystal has agreed to come and share. She straightened out my mind about how BRAC is invited to participate in the fall and in the spring to help with the ranking.
Yes, they do.
And then from there, it goes to college council.
Council, right.
Okay. So,
And then hopefully magical things happen.
yes. Is everyone comfortable with that process, or is there concerns? Or, I'm the new guy, so.
I have concerns. I've participated in that a few times. I did not participate in the last one. But it seemed, kind of like it was just rubber stamping and not really a thorough consideration of my recollection of these is we're given big sheets with tons and tons of requests on them, and it's pretty much impossible to, really thoroughly consider them and give them the credit that they deserve, the attention they deserve. And I also feel like, that even as much as I might want to make decisions about where all the money goes to college, I think that, you really need to have a pretty broad overview of it. I don't know how I'm going to decide what should happen in PE or athletics, right? Because I'm not in there, right?
Any other concerns?
I would say that once we do the integrated planning in the spring, this group, and I'm not sure if any other group outside of college council gets to see what actually fell out of that. And the rankings and the voting. What did everybody else get? It lacks transparency.
Okay.
Here will get money for whatever fell out, but we don't know what that was.
You know what the rankings that came out of? This is my fault. I'm gonna play the new guy card. Okay, because there is a spreadsheet I found out that has all the rankings. And then someone in my job is supposed to go through and say what was funded in the budget. And I kind of learned, I had a disconnect there. So we'll work to catch that up. Otherwise, the next executive, Erica's party, Chris will say, I don't have it. And look straight at me. So I will work on that, and then we'll need to work on a way to make it transparent. When, after the planning meeting, retreat, whatever, and that list is compiled, where does it go from there? Is it shared with the campus, or?
Well, it's hard to share with the campus. I mean, ideally for us, we'd like to post it on the web, but you really can't. You can't make it 508 compliant. See, that's always the challenge for us, because it's big, and we work very diligently to maintain everything that was asked for and the filtering process throughout. I mean, it's like a massive job on Dave's part to do that and track all the items, including those things that get funded in different ways before they get to the budget retreat. We track all of that in a spreadsheet. We just don't know what to do with it because it's so big, and we can't post it on the web because we can't make it 508 compliant. So if you have any ideas, we don't particularly like to care to hang on to it. It doesn't do us any good in our office. We don't know what to do with it because we can't put it on the web.
We can share it.
What about Canvas?
I mean, we're open to putting it wherever you think it can go. I think maybe there's a possibility we can try maybe
I don't know if a internal portal has to be 508 compliant.
yeah, that's, I don't know either. But I don't think so.
If it's
No,
internal.
internal doesn't have to be, but there needs to be a notation for employees particularly, who need assistance, to be able to have some sort of contact, to be able to get whatever they need to be able to read the document. Unlike the public, which is far more restrictive.
So we do employ a service through DSPS to translate documentation into 508 compliance. So faculty reach out to DSPS regularly to convert their materials. I believe that Mark Mintz is the person who's in charge of that. I don't know that he's willing to translate this giant document or that it would be at a reasonable cost.
Yeah.
It's pretty massive.
The other question, or concern, I guess, would be, so if I was the person that received professional development money, and we did that in the spring, and we've already budgeted, I guess as the dean, I would like to know that maybe in July, when I get my money, because then I have the entire year to spend it. I feel like now, we might find out in late December or in January, then you have to spend it by this amount of time, or you lose it. And you don't get enough time to spend it, because you find out about it so late. Well, if I knew in July, I had that whole entire time to do that.
Unless you miss all the professional development opportunities.
It's just one area, I mean, it could be equipment, and it takes time with purchasing and
Right.
all of that stuff, and so, if we did it in the last spring, why don't we know about it and have the entire academic year to spend that money, or until the budget closes for auditing? Would be more reasonable, because I feel like all of a sudden, you're at a rush to try and spend money that you didn't even know you had in a reasonable amount of time.
Okay. Any other concerns? I wish I had the answers to all this, but I'm gonna have to work on it. We have a need to have greater transparency in budgets and finance, and we're trying to work on solutions that it's available to everyone, not just your budget responsibility, but the whole college's budget, if you wanted to go look and do comparisons and things. So we're working on it. Is there any request for the next agenda? All right. Something pressing comes up, let me know. Okay, with that, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just